I had to sneeze, and for once, it wasn't because of the cat. Tito-kun was nowhere to be found, though he was no doubt chasing his own tail somewhere. With all these clues giving more questions than answers, I felt the same way, like I was running in circles. It was more than just a feeling. Toshio and I did a jog around the mansion for secret entrances and exits, but aside from a scarcely cleaned privy, we came up empty. I had thought about paying Toshiaki Mukai's room a visit, but Toshio assured me that the room was locked and wasn't likely to hold any evidence besides. I was getting anxious. We were losing daylight, and I didn't know where Masashi was. Hatch had given us the slip. And then there was Sadao, who the rebels wanted dead for the crime of being mistaken for me.
When they saw that he was a member of the Shinsengumi in his memory, he became the obvious target, especially since you do not carry yourself as a samurai would.
Thanks for the compliment, I sighed, but how bad can our luck be? We've got a demon and a rebellion to put down. I took a seat on the bench beneath the towering figure of Lady Justice. She was far less imposing when her shadow kept you cool from the sun.
The rebellion is a non-spiritual matter that doesn't concern you.
Toshio looked up at the statue and shook his head.
Ideas can be as dangerous as an army against Satsuma-sama's reign. Foreign laws and religions can uproot a people from underneath.
I wasn't so sure. What were tax collectors and priests compared to a legion of samurai? Were ideas really that powerful?
Akane-san.
Toshio's eyes and mine met.
When you were wounded from your battle with Jun, it was not by random chance that I set horse and carriage east to Tonagasha.
So this demon, it's not even the reason why we came here? My mission, as far as I understood it, was to hunt demons across Hyuga and save the realm from destruction. I was the sword who cuts the heavens, so why was Toshio making me feel like a butter knife?
Gomenasai.
Toshio apologized.
That we stumbled upon a demon of manipulation was only happenstance. My true purpose here is to put down a rebellion before it begins.
It wasn't often that I put my faith into others, and it took Toshio for me to remember why. I hated being betrayed, being deceived, and being used. I thought we had grown closer, sleuthing about the mansion together. But I was wrong, and I was angry. So, that's how it is. Another secret to keep from the clueless Ronin, the sword who cuts the bullshit. You like mysteries so much, Tosh? I stood from my seat and secured my katana. Get a clue and get the hell away from me. Toshio's eyes went wide, but he bowed and took his leave. His steps were silent and left me to the echoes of my own words. But getting people to be honest with me, why on this island did that feel like pulling out teeth?
Take it you hit a, rough spot in the mystery?
Hatch arrived with an unreadable expression. I couldn't read it because his face was hidden behind the giant barrel he was carrying. It's complicated. You see Masashi around? Hatch was helpful, but not when it came to mysteries. I didn't want to burden him with the knowledge that we were stranded with a bunch of rebels who wanted us dead. I just wanted to know where the kid was.
Oh yeah, I talked to the young master just a second ago. He was reading up on Toshiaki Mukai in the library. Apparently he was a samurai. You believe that? The way he fought, I know I do.
I believed it. Toshiaki, before he died, told me that his skills had earned him a wife from the Emperor's branch family. His Imperial Majesty of the time was probably Satsuma's grandfather, and I knew emperors didn't give away nieces to just any old samurai. Good news for once. What about Sadao?
He'll be at the docks, putting the finishing touches on the raft to get us all out of here.
Hatch gave that boyish grin that this time I wanted to punch. You idiot! He betrayed his wife with a pair of slashes across her belly, or did you forget that? He gut her like a fish.
I didn't forget, Akane. I forgave. He told me he wanted to repent for what he did. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I believed him.
Hatch looked me in the eyes for what felt like the first time.
He reminded me of someone I thought I knew.
That single sentence hit me like a kick to the ribs. It was a familiar feeling, but an old one. The last person I had disappointed like this was Sensei. Some people shouldn't be forgiven. I'm one of them. Sadao had killed his wife, sure, but that was amateur hour compared to me. I once made a living by snipping off loose wives and heirs, pruning family trees like they were bonsai. An assassin like me deserved Rio, not forgiveness. I left Hatch to his own thoughts. I had to find Sadao before he left the island, or this trial was going to be cut shorter than Hatch's new neckline. I sprinted out towards the dock, spurred on by the setting sun. It was all too easy for my mind's eye to picture Sadao rowing halfway into the horizon. Whereas Hatch tended to see the best in people, I saw the worst. Turned out we were both blind. I found Sadao waiting for me at the edge of the pier with his katana in hand. That unflinching stance, that peaceful aura, he was ready to fight. And he was prepared to die. The sun was behind him, still a bright white and yellow at the center. From it and across the water came a rippling beam that outlined his figure with an angelic shine. No, with his sunken eyes he appeared ghostly, as if already an acquaintance of death. Sadao Hamasaki held his katana out and to the side. Though he looked sickly, his legs were firmly planted, and there wasn't so much as a slouch in his shoulders. If I took an ex-Shinsengumi lightly, well, that'd be an easy murder mystery to solve.
I knew you'd come.
He spoke as I made my first step onto the docks. The planks were firm, but the path was narrow. In a sword fight, there'd be no room for maneuvering. Less movement reduced my options, making it more difficult to exploit the weaknesses of a traditional samurai style. And with the sun in my eyes, it wasn't by accident that Sadao chose to fight here. He shifted his blade out towards me, front and center. It was a much safer and balanced stance than the one he had used against me at the White Peach.
I'll give you this warning. I am a far more capable fighter outside of full kabuki attire.
You should have left when you had the chance. That was just my way of asking why he wasn't halfway to Tonagasha by now. If I were in his place, I'd prefer to be lost in the middle of the Celestial Sea than to stick around this accursed island. But I wasn't in his place. No, from where I was standing, I was the judge, jury, and executioner. It was long past time that Sadao received his sentence. I'd give him one, written with my katana's edge,